boy, do I have some manifestation success stories for you today. Today I have a personal manifestation success story of how I manifested my dream apartment in London, and also how my friend in Singapore has passed her driving test and I'm super happy for her, and how she went about manifesting it. So let's not waste more time, let's get straight into the video. But just before that, welcome to Temple of Sunshine on YouTube and templeofsunshine.com. Welcome. Here we speak all about manifestation, law of attraction, living your best life, self-development, Taoism, the list goes on and changes all the time because I feel like I cover such a niche. But if you are into all of that and you want to join this journey with me, then please do subscribe to this channel. It helps me out so very much. In 2021, I want to reach as many people as possible and teach them life doesn't have to suck and they can take their power back and manifest whatever they want. So if you are interested in realistic tips of manifesting your desire, then please do subscribe. Now let's get into the video. Alrighty, so let's get straight into it. I don't want to waste time today. I know that you are excited to hear about how I have finally managed to manifest this apartment. So the London rental market is an interesting one. I don't know where a lot of you are tuning in from, but I know a fair few of you do not live in the United Kingdom. So just like you can imagine when people talk about renting in, let's say, LA or New York, things are quick, they come and go, but also things get taken very quickly, and also rent is very high for, you know, small spaces, but also not always the nicest spec or modern spec of apartments. I've been always brought up in fairly new homes, so I'm in my home right now, my family home, and you can see it's like fairly like you know, renovated and modern, and I'm used to that. These are first world problems. I have been brought up to live in certain standards of homes, you know, nothing too crazy luxury, but definitely a nice, modern, clean home. And this was one of my main worries. These were one of my main requirements. I want it to be a nice, modern and clean apartment. Now, usually landlords that sort of chain rent out their apartments in London kind of don't really worry about renovating things. They kind of have like old showers or old baths because they know like people will just rent, and I have high standards. Your girl needs a nice modern kitchen and a nice modern bathroom, just because like that's just what I'm used to. Like I don't want this to come across wrong, but I have certain standards and I don't want to compromise on them because I just simply can't cook in an old kitchen. I just can't. So let me list out some requirements, but that was sort of the main one, like making sure I found like a nice modern apartment in London, well, in a specific area that I don't really want to disclose on YouTube, but in a specific area in North London that me and my boyfriend really love. So I will be living with him, which is also an exciting thing, an exciting update. But here are sort of my loose sort of requirements that I was telling the lettings agent. So like I said, modern. We need car parking for 2 cars because both me and my boyfriend drive and we love our cars. So that was something that I definitely had to look out for because London can be a bit odd with parking, especially with like residence permits sometimes. Like newer flats don't have them. Sorry if I'm boring you with the detail. We wanted a 2-bed apartment purely because we kind of need space, but we also like need the space not just for like shoes and clothes, but also when we both work from home. If like one person is working in the lounge and they're on a Zoom call and the other person just wants to cook lunch, it's just not fair. Then I had some really specific requirements, like I wanted a dishwasher. I've never had like a dryer except for when I was in university, and I don't want to be like drying my clothes in the apartment, so I really wanted a dryer. And these were times when I remember thinking that, oh, all of this is perhaps a bit too much, it's not realistic. So immediately I was getting like limiting beliefs before I'd even started. But yeah, let me run through a few more requirements. Like I had a mid to high range of budget. Like it definitely wasn't a low budget, but it was, you know, like not the highest it could be. What else? Dishwasher, you know, just really wanted like modern kitchen, modern bathroom, place for 2 cars because both me and my boyfriend drive and we love our cars. And yeah, so anyway, what I did was 2 months or so ago, maybe even before actually, I started scripting. And if you want to know more about scripting, then I'm going to put my scripting video up in the cards where you can go check that out. So you can learn about scripting there, because I don't want to waste time in this video about scripting. So I started to script as if I'd already signed the contract for this tenancy, and I was like, thank you so much, universe, for like all these requirements. Now, one of the main things that immediately came up after scripting was limiting beliefs that this just couldn't happen in a flat in London. I was like, there's no way. If I find a 2-bed house, it's a 2-bed flat, it's probably not going to have a dryer. If it has a dishwasher, then it's probably not going to be modern. Like, you know, I just started to think of all the reasons why my manifestation wouldn't happen. And I want to be candid with you and tell you that, because that is human. That is my ego. That is me being human. When I talk to you guys about manifestation and scripting and living your best life, I want to show you the flip side of it as well. So how did I end up manifesting this with limiting beliefs? So a lot of the time I'd think about all the things that I wanted, and I was like, that's so unrealistic. In London, are you crazy? Like, specifically in the area that we want to rent, I was like, there's no way at times. So what I did was, with this apartment, for some reason, I had a really strong gut feeling, an intuition, a deep knowing that the universe was just going to sort it out, that the Lord was just going to sort it out, whatever you want to call it, God, universe, however you like to phrase it. I just, for some reason, I remember telling my friends when I went to see them like a month or 2 ago. So yeah, I would have scripted way before than 2 months ago. But when I was talking to my friends, my friend was really stressing about finding a new apartment because her current flatmate is going to move in with her partner next year. So she's already thinking about what kind of flat she wants. And she's like, oh, it's just so stressful and I'm never going to find what I want. And then she was like, what about you in your flat search? Sorry, this hair is annoying me. And I was like, it's just going to work out. I'll just manifest it. Like, the universe has got me. And for some reason, I just had such deep faith, and I had a huge lack of resistance around this topic, because I was like, it's really important to me that I find an amazing flat, but at the same time, like, I'm not going to obsess over it. Things that I obsess over are usually like things around my work and my business, and usually like my health and my weight. Stuff like this, I have very low resistance. So this is why it worked out so well for me. Now, let's get into how it all came about. So one of the main problems I also had was I didn't know when my boyfriend was actually going to move out his flat, because his tenancy finished, but he had a few things to sort out. He had an exam and whatnot, and we were waiting for its results. So he was only going to hand in the fact that he was leaving to his landlord after a few things were sorted out, and he was living with friends. So I had that dependency. I had to wait on him. So even with that, I didn't stress. I let it go. I left up to the universe, and I was like, the universe's timing is perfect. Now let me expand on this, because it gets crazier. I've just realized how long this video is going to be. I'm sorry, but I hope this inspires you. So the week of the 1st to the 5th September, me and my boyfriend had annual leave to go on holiday, and we ended up not finding anywhere on the UK green list except Croatia. After looking at Croatia, the flights were too expensive and the accommodation was mostly booked up, and the stuff that was left was hugely overpriced and not even like our first choice. So we decided not to go on holiday, and I remember both of us being a little down about it. So Friday the, I want to say 3rd September, no, Thursday, I don't know, basically that week, I went on Rightmove, which is kind of like Zillow or Zoopla or whatever in other countries, and I found this amazing apartment, and I looked at the pictures and I fell in love. My boyfriend lives two doors down from this flat in the exact area that we want to live in. In fact, this is perfect because it's a tried and tested road, right? So then I task him to go see it on a lunch break. He sees it and he comes back and he's not also positive about it. He has a few concerns, but I look at the photos again and I FaceTime the estate agent. He asked to FaceTime me after I raised my boyfriend's concerns. Even that, like, perfect timing. Showed me around the flat and I was like, look, I'm going to go see it for myself. So overnight I showed my mum, who also fell in love with it. I went to see this flat on the Friday, the 3rd September, basically the Friday, and I fell in love with it. We put the offer down and we got it. Now, let me tell you all the things in this flat, but just before that, can I just say, look at the universe. When they say God works in mysterious ways, Look at that. Like, our holiday got cancelled. We didn't end up in Croatia because if we didn't view this flat over these few days, we would have lost it. Someone else would have taken it. In fact, we probably wouldn't have even found out about it. And all the time when I was manifesting, I was saying that the universe is going to find me a perfect flat that ticks boxes even I didn't know I had. The fact that we got it on the road that my boyfriend already lives on, like 2 doors down, is just phenomenal, like completely phenomenal, because this road is tried and tested. We know the parking situation's fine and we already know and love it. Like, my mind's blown. It has everything I could ever want. It has a gorgeous feature wall and it's got bricks on it. It's got a fireplace. Like, wow, where can you find a London rental where you've got like a genuine fireplace and it's not like extortionate? It has its own utility cupboard with a washer and dryer, which is so cool because then you don't take up space in the kitchen. It's got a gorgeous modern kitchen. It's got a huge bathroom, and this was amazing. It has 2 basins, so I don't have to share with my boyfriend. I'm very happy. And it has 2 bedrooms. It's super modern and gorgeous, and it literally ticks more boxes than I even know I had. Like, it has floor to ceiling windows. I've always wanted that, but I didn't even put it down as something I wanted in this manifestation because I was like, that's super unrealistic. So it is literally like, it's the kind of place that I would buy, let alone rent. Like, I'm in love. And how did I manifest it? Detachment and lack of resistance were key. I completely left this up to the universe. And every time someone asked me about it, oh, when is your boyfriend going to tell you when you're going to move in together? Or when they were like, how are you going to find the apartment you want? When are you going to look? People ask me constantly, never ending. I'd just be like, it's going to get sorted. It's fine. Sometimes I'd have worries inside. But then at the same time, I just knew, man. Like, I had this gut feeling that the universe is going to sort it out for me. And you can have this with anything. This is just that I just didn't put too much resistance on it. And that's why it was so easygoing. Number 2 was just letting things flow. 3 was scripting. I scripted everything I want and I got it out on paper to the universe, and then I let it go and I said, universe, thank you for finding me a flat that ticks all these boxes and even ones I didn't know I had. And I just let the best thing come to me. I didn't search too much. I didn't obsess over it. I didn't go on Rightmove or Zoopla every single day to try and find a place. I just knew that the perfect flat would find me. And you can do this with a partner, a job, a car, a house, whatever you're trying to manifest. This applies to anything. This absolutely applies to anything. Anyway, I don't want to waste too much time on me. I want to talk to you about my friend's manifestation story, and this one's a little bit shorter. So my good friend, she's also in her mid-20s, but she moved back to Singapore, and I met her at university in London. She's a very good friend of mine, and things in Singapore are a little different. So I think learning to drive there, I don't know if it's easier or harder than the UK, but I know that they have a lot more regulations around owning a car and whatnot. But she really wanted to pass this driving test. She's been talking about it for years. Me, her, and another friend of mine used to go on these lovely little holidays to Spain and France, and we always used to get a rental car, and she'd always say, guys, I can't wait till I can also pitch in the driving on one of our holidays. So she's wanted this for a long time. So just the other day, she texted me going, I've passed my driving test. I was super, super happy. And she even told me that she's been manifesting it. So I asked for some details so I could share it with you guys, because I know that you really get a pep in your step when you see other people manifest things and take inspiration from them. So one thing I asked her straight up, I was like, how did you do it? Mind you, she's been talking to me about driving and how much she's enjoying it and how much effort she's been putting into it and loving it. And, you know, she's actually passionate about it for like a month and a bit now. So I think, even though she didn't mention it, I think number 1 is just having such a positive and excited attitude about it. She's just been really happy to be out there driving. She's just enjoying the process. She's not always thinking about, will I pass, will I not? She's just having a good time. And I think that really helps because it gets your vibration up and it keeps it there. Number 2, she said that she's quite a visual person. She would visualize texting her boyfriend and her family saying, I've passed my test. And she'd visualize how she would text it out. And with the joy and excitement, she would definitely have her eyes on that vision. And I do this a lot, especially with jobs or even with the flat and stuff. Like, I would visualize texting my mom or texting my boyfriend and being like, it's happened, I'm super excited. And I see that she's done that too, which I quite like. And she'd also visualize, I think, being in the car and the test going well. One thing I like about her visualization is she really focused on the end result rather than being in the car and driving it well, or just simply picturing herself driving around. She pictured the actual pass happening and telling her instructor. I think it's really nice that she's focusing on telling family and friends, because sometimes the most exciting thing is when something good happens. It's the excitement kicks in when we start telling people, and that's when we really start to feel joyous and, you know, like really full of beans. So I think that's a brilliant thing if you're trying to manifest something that you would be telling your relatives or family and friends, whatever. Visualizing how you would tell them the good news is an excellent way to get in the feeling of your manifestation, the vibration of your manifestation. And let me remind you, vibration equals feeling. Don't complicate it. Vibration equals mood. Don't complicate it. It's simply, how are you feeling? What's your mood? And right now I'm feeling really good after sharing these manifestation success stories with you. So if this has inspired you at all, then please do like this video and subscribe to this channel if you found this video of value. I've had so much fun sharing these experiences with you. You can see that I am literally glowing and excited from talking to you guys about this, and I wish you all the best with your manifestations. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments and we can all answer them together as a community. But anyway, see you in the next upload.